Minnesota Vikings and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They start to drive with White. Yeah, this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Jones. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But just 2 plays in, and Charles already their first sack defensively.
Yeah, how about that? That didn't take long, did it? And now they look at 3rd down, and that's another time to try and go and get the quarterback too.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 in the first. They'll go up the middle with White. They find some open field here. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. The Buccaneers at 1 and 3 here in the early part of the year. Yeah, they've lost 3 straight here. It kind of goes without saying, I guess, but they could certainly use a win.
Yeah, no doubt about that. There's a difference between a losing stretch and a losing streak, and right now, they're not playing their best football, but if they were to fall here, and now you're looking at going 4 games without a win, things can start compounding themselves pretty quickly from this point forward.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White, and he's going to have the first down yardage to the 35.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league and converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. And down he goes. They sack him back right around the 41-yard line. With Sean Gary that time fighting free and getting to the quarterback. Charles, a little bit of feast or famine on this drive. They moved the ball okay, but they've been sacked twice now.
And they've got to figure out how to plug that leak a little bit, right? Keep them away from the quarterback, because when he's not being hit, as you mentioned, they're moving the ball well.
To try again after the sack. Jones going down the middle, and it's complete. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 13-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They run straight ahead here with White. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That was a really nice play, being able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free, and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. And the Bucs are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here's White. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. No score after 1 on EA Sports. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Jones. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Multiple players getting home for the 1-yard sack.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with 1st and goal. Have to believe that they'll continue to bring the pressure on 3rd down.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And now the Tampa Bay field goal unit comes out here. This is a fairly straightforward 22. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. Now it's scooped up, and I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. He's at the 50, 30, the 20, 10. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Vikings take the blocked field goal and convert it into 6 points. Well, we did, in fact, get our first points of the game on the field goal attempt. Just, maybe not the way that we expected with a return the other direction.
And right now, what's popping into my brain? That adage every coach says to us, if you block a kick and score off of it, 95% of the time, your team wins the game. I can't quantify the numbers, but it certainly seems to work out that way.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fields it right around the goal line. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. The last time they had a little bit of a special teams breakdown. That field goal was blocked.
Yeah, and everything has to be precise in the kicking game. Snap, hold, kick. Obviously the blocking to keep people out. So what you really want to do is get in there and get 6 points and take the pressure off of those guys.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Looking to throw. Jones. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The offense on 3rd down, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. And not an easy spot here. They'll be in search of 13 yards to try to pick up the first. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Looks like a second empty possession to start the game, and certainly not the way you want to start when you're coming off of a loss last week. Every team talks about starting fast. They're hoping on their next possession, it can be a delayed fast start and get them going.
Nice punt, but good work on the return to get back 11 yards. And the Vikings will take over here 1st and 10.
Come on.
On play action, they'll throw. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And this is caught. A big play there for Minnesota. 64 yards. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. Tyquan Thornton, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. No problem there on the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. Taking it about the 1. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they're in a bind early here, down 14-0. Are you worried at this stage or still too early?
You're worried. You're just trying not to transmit it to the rest of your team. You want to make sure that they stay positive. But at the same time, you're wondering, how are we going to move the football? What do we have on this play sheet that can work? Get back to basics is usually your answer. And make sure you find the guy who can move the ball fastest for you if you just get it in his hands.
Yeah, still second quarter. You get points on the board here. I think you're feeling okay.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Now Jones on 1st down. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked up by Keon Crossan. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
That's a nice throw there, and he's obviously feeling pretty good because, remember, he had a touchdown pass on the last drive, and here he comes out throwing again, and they wind up getting good yardage and a first down right out of the gate.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. And it's complete to Mitchell. And they're going to get this to about the 44-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Kayvon Thibodeau in there to bury him for a loss of 11. I think this defense, Charles, realizing the deficit they're facing, they're going to have to step up and make more plays like we just saw there.
Yeah, and those are the type of plays that can focus a defense because, as we know, they've had their trouble so far in this one. But they just proved to themselves that they can get to him, and I expect them to continue to bring that type of pressure in order to try and turn around their fortunes.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That's caught by the big tight end, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Oftentimes now, offenses aren't nearly as precise as days gone by. They just help receivers find an open patch of grass and let the quarterback.
And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 3-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Well, Charles, after the first quarter, it was just complete disaster for them. Everything has flipped. I mean, it's 180 degrees in the other direction now here in quarter 2.
Championship effort right there. How about that marching almost the length of the field, coming through on their final opportunity to get the win? This is one that this team will remember forever, as well as their fans.
Their own 17-yard line.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Back to throw. Jones. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. The pass is caught by Cade Otton. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back to throw again. Looking downfield for Godwin. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Keon Crossan. And the Vikings are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. And Charles, it seems like sometimes when you fall down early, there can be a tendency there to try and get it all back in one fell swoop. And that time, that thinking leads to an interception.
And I believe you brought up a really good point there, Brandon, because you try and force plays, right? You try and get all back in one shot, just as you mentioned there. And you know you're going to need some big plays to get back into the game. But ultimately, you really can't force what isn't there.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They'll throw now on the final play. And finding the tight end Hooper. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well. And most importantly, partner,
they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
They go play action here on first down. Out to his left. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end Hockenson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the third quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. A gain of 3, second down. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. He's got it. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. T.J. Hockenson. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the third quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history. That's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And bottom line is, it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
On second down, they'll run with White. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up third down.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Looking to throw. Jones. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. It'll go in the books as a sack and a loss of a yard, but more importantly, it leads to 4th down. I don't know what else can be said about this pass rush. They have been sensational, CD. That is now 6 sacks for them.
And how many times do we talk to offensive coordinators and they say a sack is a result of everyone on offense not doing their job? Well, let's be honest about this one. This is the offensive line unable to counter the pass rush. They've been teeing off all game long. Well, Brandon, anything beyond 50, you start rolling the dice a bit. And once you get up around 57, 58 yards, the chances of making it go down dramatically. And sure enough, this one winds up no good.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Out left and complete to Thornton. And he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
And that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot. Back to throw. Throws right side, and that's complete. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. 30 yards. And the Vikings have got it on cruise control. Well, partner, he has carried them in this ball game throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. From 8 yards out, and the Vikings get another third quarter touchdown to add on to that lead. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up the secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
Extra point up and through, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. Fielded just outside the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Now, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. Or win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter.
Oh, and Jones has just thrown his 3rd interception. It's Kyler Duggar who picks it. And the Vikings are going to take possession of the football. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different.
And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right.
On the jump. Cowboy 80.
They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter.